All right, this week we're talking about things that make a difference when they're longer or even shorter. Right after the break.
Restoration of a classic Ford is a journey of discovery. Let Autocrafters help you with yours. We offer quality parts for Falcon, Fairlane, F-Series, Galaxy, Maverick, and Pinto. Contact us today.
All right, so what have we got on the table here? Right, this is a steering box from the guys at Autocrafters that we got in for the 65 Ranchero that we're working on. The cool thing is this is a quick ratio box. It's all brand new inside, so you're not dealing with a sloppy old box. It's fully greased. All you gotta do is bolt this sucker in. And like I said, it's quick ratio, which means that you can use it with a power steering system, or if you want that speed and feel from a manual box, you can run it the way it is. I would probably recommend going in and putting a Open Tracker Racing idler arm on it like I'm showing you here. That's a really good update to the system. It won't give you power steering, but it'll give you power steering-ish. Don't put too big a tire on the front, it won't be so bad. It won't be so great because it's manual steering. It's not going to be like your modern car, but it'll work out really good for what you're probably going to be doing with the car on a weekend basis. So what am I talking about in the beginning of this when I said something about inches? What stunned me the other day when I started looking into this is that there are specific steering box assemblies for the early Falcons, the 1960 all the way up to 1965 Falcon. Now in 1966, the Falcon changed to the Fairlane chassis, so the boxes on those are actually compatible with a Fairlane. I don't know for a fact that those boxes would bolt into a 1965 Falcon. I don't think that they will, but I can't be sure about that. If you know the answer to that, please leave a comment in the section below and it'll help me be able to help other people. But what I'm going to discuss here is something that could be an issue because a lot of guys with an early Falcon are trying to save a little bit of money and they think, I am not going to spend the money for this Falcon specific box like the one I have here. I'm just going to order a less expensive Mustang box and go in that direction. And that is where you can run into a real problem. The Falcon used two different boxes in the early years, and the ones you're really looking for, especially if you're doing a V8 conversion, are the 1.125 sector systems on those. I'm going to flip this over a little bit so you can see it. What you're looking for is this bigger system here, and you're going to have the different pitman arm and all the different V8 components with drag link and tie rod ends to tie to some V8 spindles. But when we start talking about length, that's where things get a little squirrely. You see, the early Falcons with a V8 were available with a 39-inch shaft assembly, which was 39 inches from here to down inside the box, or a 40-inch shaft assembly, which is basically this tape measure here right to that front portion of the tape measure. Then you say, well, what about the Mustang box? What about the Mustang box? Indeed, that sucker is 41 7/8 inches long. Now that doesn't seem like much. A couple of inches shouldn't make that much difference, should it? I'll let you finish the joke. If you're going that deep into the interior of your car, you're going to start impacting where the wheel sits on you. If you have a nice, manly, svelte profile like I do, that kind of sticks out a little bit more in the middle, a 41 7/8 inch box could be a problem because that's 2 7/8 inches longer than the 39-inch box that we got from the guys at Autocrafters. Why am I getting a 39-inch box? Because you never know. Logan looks pretty good right now. Give him a few years. He'll appreciate that little bit of belly room he'll get with the 39-inch box. Right, Logan? Yes. So, one last thing I'm going to give you. I did pull together a chart out of some of the old manuals, and that's going to be available on our website. I'm showing it to you right now. If you want to freeze frame it and photograph it or whatever, that's okay. I don't mind because I took it out of the Ford manuals. You should be able to, take it away from me. But it's also on the web page if you want to take it and print it out from there. I'll have that available for you. The website is below me here, and it's also down in the description below with a direct link right to that sucker where you can go to it. Speaking of things that you should do out there on the internet, why don't you go out and check out our Patreon account. There's a list running up either here or here. One day I know he's just going to put it right over the front of my face. There's a list on either side of me, one side of me, going up with the people who support us financially with the Patreon account. If we've saved you any money, if we've helped you work on your car a little bit, why not go ahead and join the Patreon group and help support Andrew and this, need for therapy after working with me for about 8 months as an editor, because I'm, pretty tough to work for sometimes. But it also helps the kids around here too. We actually pay our young people that come in here a little bit of money every week to come in and work, but they also learn to trade in here. They're learning how to operate cameras, they're learning how to do the sound system and all that we use for this, the mics that we use. So it is actually a teaching program as well. We try to help these kids learn how to do things for their future if they so choose to go into that down the road. Also, subscribe to the channel. We are on our march to 100,000 subscribers. The Paul Wall really needs that plaque right now, so help us get to that level. Subscribe your grandmother. She'll never know whether she's subscribed or not, unless she watches a lot of YouTube, and then she'll know. Get your aunt, uncle, whatever, cousins. If you got a lot of cousins, get all your cousins to subscribe. Get us up there. We want to get that 100,000 plaque. I just want to put it on the wall now. I got a spot for it. Now I need to fill that spot. Finally, folks, do me a favor and be kind to each other, be nice to each other, love on each other. You guys have a great week. We'll see you on down the road. So now I get to put this back in a box, because I got to do other stuff to the car, like fill in the frame rail and make that new, and weld up the wall and figure out how to brace all that stuff. Meanwhile, Logan's like out there working on sprinklers all day. Getting a good tan though. Yeah. He's gonna have one of those tans like the UPS guys have, where his legs are really white below or like right above his ankles down. He'll look like a pasty white fish, but his legs will be really tan otherwise. So I'm gonna go put this back in the box. Bye.